Hey John, this is Harris, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to quickly bridge most of your photos to batch process. Firstly, I'll just get right into it just to save you some time. You kind of just got to find one good photo to work on as a base, one that normally represents most of your library, and try work to that. And for every major different photo that you'd like to automate, do a separate action for those, whether it's a vertical or an odd size photo that seems to be the norm in your collection. Try use one of the best ones in each to make the adjustments. So in this set, I'm just going to do a bunch of vertical photos here. I'm not going to worry about the profile ones. I'd normally make a separate action for those. But let's just open these up in Photoshop to create the action that we want to do on all of them at first. Okay, so first of all, this is the actions window here. What you normally want to do first is create a new set of actions, just for good organization. Let's just call this one Daniel. And then within that, you'll want to create a new action to eventually save and use throughout your whole series. So let's just call this watermark 400 by 400 size, and click record. And what this will now do is start recording every single action that we take until I tell it to stop. Now, first of all, before doing any sort of design elements and edits to certain parts of the photo, it's usually good to add any watermarks before or after you resize. So let's first of all resize the image, and it will save that. So we'll change the image size through here, and let's just call it 400 by 267 here. We can also like skew that if you really want to 400 by 400, but for the purposes of this, I'll keep it to its right ratio. So it'll have saved that image size change right here, so as you can see there. Now all we have to do is add our watermark now that it's safe to do so. So let's just create some text here, and let's just call this test for the purposes of seeing whether it works or not. So let's just get it small enough so I can see it. You can record the color, just about anything will be saved, and as you can tell here, under here it's saved a few other things that some values, and all these values are just for your reference that this is what you've formatted it as. And let's just place it here. And that's pretty much how you set the actions. We just press stop now. That's all I want to do. And you don't actually have to save this photo, you can actually bin it, but let's just close this down properly. You don't have to save this, but you do have to close down Photoshop manually through the exit thing, otherwise sometimes these actions don't save that you've just created. So anyway, let's get on to Bridge, because that's where we can automate everything. So this is Bridge here. I'm using 5.1. CS3 should be very similar. In this area here, you'll want to find the folder that contains all your footage. So that will be currently on my desktop. I'll just call it web work. I think I've got it here in the raw folder. So this is all the stuff I want to convert. You might have 400 photos here. You don't want to apply this to just about anything. You can actually use this filter here to determine the stuff that you want to see. So you can do custom searches, but in this case I only want to do it to all the landscapes because I know they're all the same orientation, the same resolution and everything else. I can also see all the portraits if I want to, but here let's just use landscape for the sake of showing you how to do it. So I've highlighted all of them. I go to Tools, and then I have to go to Photoshop because that's the one that's going to process them. The image processor, this is where it's all at. And then I can do several things in this image processor. First of all, I want to select the location, so I can select the folder I want to export it to. It's obviously not a good idea to overwrite the originals. Make sure you don't do that. Let's put it in here, and let's make a new folder called 400 by 400, or whatever it is, the size that you'd like to do, or web small, or whatever else. So select that, press OK. Now, if I resize this to fit 400 by 400, it's just going to push it down to 400 by 400, but because the action will already do that, don't worry about it in this instance. This is normally only good if all you want to do is resize photos, but because we're adding a watermark, let's just let the action take care of both those things. So what we have to do is find our action set that we created, and I've just got Daniel, I can't spell, so sorry man. And then the watermark, 400 by 400 size. All I have to do now, double check all your items, make sure quality is high, and then just click run. And it'll do all the magic as you wait. It just opens all of them, applies the action, and then saves it. So it should make it a fairly quick experience depending on how big your photos are and how powerful your computer is. This should be done really soon, and I can double check now how that's gone by ducking out and just checking out the folder where it should be. So we go to web work. I'll now have this folder here, 400 by 400. There's a JPEG folder, and within there we can see that it's worked and it's applied it to pretty much every single photo, and it's consistent and easy. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. You can get pretty complicated with the actions. You can also increase the curves and change all the image values, and it can apply it to a full series. It really is up to how complicated you want to get with these. As I said, you can add a few different actions for different type of photo sizes, as you'll probably have to. You might want to make a web small, a web large, a web thumbnail, and whatnot, and this will save you time doing that. So yeah, I completely advise using it, man. So yeah, that's it from me. Good luck.